before this video starts, really quick, if you hear anything in the background, I'm really sorry. I think my neighbor is doing like repaving their driveway or something, so they're working with like a lot of cement. So sorry about that. Anyways, hi there. Welcome to the King's Court. And if you're a new viewer, thank you so much for clicking on this video. And if you're a returning viewer, hi, how you doing? Okay, so first off, if you're a regular viewer of ours, sorry for the lack of content lately. We've been really busy the last stretch of this month, honestly. But things should be pretty settled now, so we can get back to our regular schedule. Anyways, now, last night was actually Digimon night at my locals, and I've actually been playtesting the black build for Black or Greymon. Then again, this is more of a Gaiomon build, which again, I'm super happy for. Again, Black or Greymon is my favorite Digimon of all time. Number one, absolutely. It's the deck I'm always playing, but luckily that deck also has other variants, because we also have Gaiomon at our disposal as well. So, I was actually playtesting this build for a little while now, actually, because I've been wanting to update the black base here in the channel, because I haven't done that in a little while, because I've been really focused more on, when it comes to Digimon, really trying to get down everything for the black-red base. But I've been actually playtesting this build, and this build is so much fun, and actually, weirdly enough, thanks to the new set from BT17, we actually got some new stuff for the deck, so I wanted to go over that here. Now, I'm actually missing one card for this deck. When I was playtesting it online, it worked super great, and here's the thing. When I was playtesting it at locals, my friend was letting me use his card. So, because this deck does play the X Antibody Protoform, and if you've seen that card, it is ridiculously expensive right now. I think there's a couple of reasons why that card is so expensive right now. So I borrowed my friend's, and he let me use his, but he has like others at home that he was gonna let me borrow still. So he needed his back too. So I basically just borrowed them off him. So yeah, in this deck, when I go over the card, there'll be the regular X antibody, heads up. But just remember, it's supposed to be X protoform. But I'll go over that later. So, like I said, this deck is super fun. It's gotten a lot more consistent, and I'm just having so much fun with it. And I want to update it here because, like I said, I finally got to playtest this deck IRL. So, that's pretty much the entire intro. So, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Let me know in the comments. Do you think we'll ever get Gaiomon Ito mode? Because I feel like that's like the one really big piece we're missing, because obviously we get Agumon and Greymon stuff all the time, but I feel like we're really missing like the Gaiomon Ito mode. Also, what do you think it would be? I personally think it could probably be an ace card. So let me know in the comments. Do you think we'll ever get it? And what kind of card do you think it should be? Should it be like a new boss card or like an ace card? I really would like the idea of having a new Gaiomon someday, and then having like a Gaiomon Ito mode for an ace. So like I said, that's pretty much everything. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and let's get to it. All right, first one. Now, unfortunately for the black base, we don't got a lot of options for Koromon. So I'm still playtesting. I'm still playing the structure deck Koromon. Hopefully down the road we eventually get a updated like new black Koromon, because this one's good, but man, I don't know. I feel like it could be better, because in the red black base we have like two really good Koromons. The one that lets us draw, and the one that lets us draw a card every time when a security is removed from our opponent's security. So, but unfortunately, we don't really got that here. But it is really good just for getting the higher big numbers, because this is the Koromon where if the attack target gets switched, your Digimon will gain 1,000. So it's still pretty good, actually. Still probably the best black Koromon we got right now. Okay, so as always, we'll start off with the rookies. I'm playing 4 BT11 Black Agumon X. This card is, I'm not gonna lie, is so much better than the red Agumon X, because one, unlike Agumon X, which doesn't have an inheritable, this one has the same inheritable as our good buddy Greymon X that got hit to 1, because we just removed the X antibody and our card is safe. So not only that, it lets us reveal more. It lets us add black tamers to our hand. And for this deck, the black tamers are so important. So, man, this is probably still my favorite version of X Antibody Agumon, honestly. All right, next one. 4 of the structure deck Agumon. I love this card. It ever since it came out, I always swore this card was so good, and I swear it's gotten better now. Because if your opponent has a Digimon at the beginning of your turn, gain a memory, and if attack target switch, get another memory. Like something I've been doing actually when an attack target switch, if I like memory choke my opponent, which is actually pretty easy to do in this deck, you can actually like gain 2 memory when you're attacking. That way, after you're done, it's your turn again, and you basically can low-key like kind of skip over your opponent's turn. So it's pretty funny with this card because you use this in combination with the structure deck Greymon, which I'll get to in a bit. Now, here's the new card actually that I wanted to go over. Now, I wasn't considering running this card, but what got me to try this, I guess you could say like this new engine for the black base for Gaiomon, was a Korean list I saw on Twitter. I'll share a picture of their deck right here. There obviously there's big differences because we don't have the scramble cards yet, but this build is so cool. I wanted to give it a shot. So, and I'll also leave a link to their Twitter in the description. Go check them out. Show them some love. I started trying out, and I'm actually really liking the new BT17 Agumon. This Agumon is crazy because we do play the Tamer in combination with this card, and it's really insane when you can mind link and first off, mind linking. I wasn't even like aware that you could do that in this deck, but then I should have realized that when I realized, oh wait, it's a black Agumon. So of course I'm like, dang, what we gotta try this out more. So I wanted to actually, this is why I wanted to share this deck profile to right now, because I haven't been seeing a lot of people talking about this, that in the black base for this deck that you can actually start using Mind Link with shoot, I always forget this there's a running gag in my locals. Everyone calls this card Chris Redfield because everyone says he looks like Chris Redfield from Resident Evil. So let me know what you think of that in the comments. So in tandem with this Agumon, you don't even got to run as many ties as you used to, because you can give your Digimon not only blocker but piercing as well, and that's going to come up in a sec. I'll go over the piercing in a minute, but yeah, for these Agumon are probably the best ones to be running. I do miss the look of the top 4. Add a Greymon and a Dragon King to your hand. I've been kind of tempted to start running more of those again, but for right now, this is I really like this main 12 cards, honestly. And that's it for the rookies. All right. 4 structure deck Greymon. This card, I'm not gonna lie, this card really comes in clutch. 1, it's a blocker. So if you just want to set up like a bunch of like smaller or even like medium-sized blockers, you can actually do that with this card. You could just Digivolve on top of Agumon, or hell, you can even hard play it if your hand breaks or something, which I actually did do a couple times. And you could use this to block your opponent from hitting you with smaller Digimon from chipping at your memory. So this card is really, plus its security effect. The fact that you can play an Agumon or a tie from your hand or your trash. So this card is really slept on. I really like this Greymon. 2 of the BT12 Greymon. Pretty self-explanatory. This card, lets us play a tie for free from our hand if we don't have one. It's good for setting up. Plus, that extra 1,000 can honestly really come in handy. Here's always been the big difference between the black base and the red black base. You don't need, in that version, obviously we always play our good buddy BT11 Greymon X, because he's at 1, sadly. And we play like 3 more of the older one. In this version, you actually don't need to play the other red Greymon X, because your Agumon X has the same ability to save you. So, 1, obviously, of our good buddy Greymon X. Hopefully, we someday get him back to 4. I'm hoping. Man, I remember when I saw the reaction to the new ban list, that every Greymon player was sad because we were all really hoping we can get him back to 4. Someday, right? Alright, next, the Metal Greymons. Alright, now this is what I meant by in discussion why Mind Link in this deck with piercing is so useful. 4 of the BT8 Metal Greymon. Now you're probably thinking this card doesn't get as much play as it used to, but I still really like this card because one, de-digivolving your opponent's Digimon is just still really good because not a lot of Digimon in the game have the ability to prevent de-digivolving. Off the top of my head, I think this deck is the only one that can do it because we still. Oh, well, I'll mention it right here. 4 Metal Greymon X. Max out basically on both of these. Now, this is because there are, even though Yellow Vaccine did get hit, there are still a lot of yellow decks like Shine Greymon and all of them, and Leomon that could de-digivolve us and that can minus our DP. But thanks to this card, we really don't even got to worry about them. So the fact that we can now, this is why like I said, the piercing is super necessary, is because think about it in tandem with the Tamer card. If we mind link, let's see, if we mind link onto the Digimon that has Metal Greymon and let's say go into Gaiomon, because of Gaiomon's Blitz and all that, we could literally just swing at our opponent's Digimon. Now we'll be getting rid of their because again, thanks to Metal Greymon, we can swing over unsuspended Digimon, and not only that, thanks to Gaiomon's de-digivolving effect, if it's a really big one, de-digivolve it, and then you just swing over it, and then literally thanks to piercing, 2 security checks still. So it allows us to basically swing over our opponents and still get the piercing. And don't forget, Gaiomon's got a reboot during our opponent's turn, so we'll still have a huge blocker. So that's why this Mind Link idea is really good, is really, really amazing. So yeah, all 8 of these Metal Greymon, and like I said, the Metal Greymon X, pretty self-explanatory. Prevents the digivolving, DP minusing, and also the destruction ability really does come in handy for like medium and small size Digimon. Alright, time for the most important cards. 3 EX4 Gaiomon and 3 BT9 Gaiomon. I swear, a lot of people forgot that the EX4 Gaiomon exists. This card is super slept on. Because, one, we can use them to literally set up into the next Gaiomon. Because what it does, it lets us basically tag out into the bigger one for free. Not only that, let's say we cleared our opponent's field, or they don't got anything set up yet. You can trash the top of their security. And then have Gaiomon going for the attack, 2 security, there you go. That they're already pretty much down to almost everything. All their security's gone. So these 2 cards together just work amazing. Let's see. For the last Digimon, I saw that they were running some black hybrids. They were running Seraphimon, and I was actually playtesting Mercurymon because I liked the idea of, having a bunch of blockers. And I was even considering actually playing Omnimon still here, but the problem is in the red-black base, you can run Agumons that lets you search for Omnimon as well. But in this build, not so much. So and plus again, we max out on defense training. So obviously we're trying to search our black cards as fastest. So I thought, yeah, I'll just try out the Seraphimon like I saw, and this card actually does come in handy. The reason why it's so good is because you could literally set up a bunch of blockers, especially Gaiomon, and just force your opponents. It's kind of like how the Examon deck works. How that deck likes to force your opponent to attack into your big guy, and that's a lot like how this card works, actually. But, I don't know. I'm like 50-50 on this card. I might cut it out because I might want to max out on, well, I'll get to that right now. But it's still good. Maybe I might cut it down to 2, if anything. Now, I'm playing 3 Kosuke. Yeah. Now, this is why I said, because again, the Mind Link works so well, I might actually cut one of the Seraphis. I might actually just cut one and do like a Seraphimon and a Mercurymon, like 1-1 split. But so that way I can max out this card, because again, having Mind Link and being able to pierce and have blocker on our Digimon so we don't even have to play as many Tai is this honestly just really crazy. So this card, I think I'm just gonna max it out. Same here, actually. Again, you don't need to run as many tie, but I still wanted to play at least three. I might actually just cut one of them out to play the 4-drop tie, or maybe even a Yuya or something. Yeah, I think I might experiment with that a little bit. But I did end up playing three of these. Probably, like I said, definitely going to max out though on the Kasuke. And that's actually all the tamers. All right, options. Obviously, for defense training, you got to max this card out. Not only does it make up for the fact that we still only got one Greymon X, but the fact that we can literally add pretty much any card in the entire deck, because every card in here is either black or black and red. So you can literally add any card in your hand thanks to this. So obviously, for the record, I would be playing the scramble card, but we don't have it yet. So we gotta wait till December. Dang it. All right, 2 Hades Force. Come on, you always gotta have Hades Force in any deck that involves Black or Greymon. Even though, ironically, in this build I'm not playing him. Probably might tech it in just because I want to. Hades Force is always a necessary card. Now, also, here's another thing, which I might want to do like a full-on video talking about this subject. Hades Force is gonna and Black or Greymon are going to be much more necessary going forward, because even though they did hit the Hammer Spark, the hybrid decks are going to be crazy. Not just blue hybrid, but also purple hybrid, and even like yellow hybrid. All of them are going to be taking over the game completely here in the West as soon as we get the next set. Well, yeah, I think some of the new stuff comes out in EX7, but the next set, BT18, after that one, is where hybrids are going to be everywhere. So we got to so Hades Force and Black or Greymon will have some time to shine against, because the fact that we can literally just pop their tamers and there you go, they can't do anything. So yeah, I always joke with my friend at locals who plays the hybrid decks. I always tell him this card is basically just a middle finger to hybrids, and he always laughs at that because even he can't argue. It pretty much is. So yeah, Hades Force easy to shoot, might even be a 3 of, or shoot, a 4 of going forward. I might want to play test that. And like I said, these should be proto form, but like I said, I just borrowed 2 of my friends. But it's supposed to be proto form. But luckily, he's gonna let me borrow his other copies he has. So, because he had 2 on him and 2 at home, so he's just gonna let me borrow the ones he just keeps at home because he doesn't really use those. So, plus right now he's mostly playing bunnies right now, and I don't even think bunnies plays that card. So he's cool to just let me use them anyways. And I told him when the price goes down, I'll just buy them off him, because that card is super important for this deck, and shoot, probably even the antibody decks going forward. And that's the entire deck. Like I said, this build is super fun, super consistent, and I really, really like playing the Mind Link combination in this deck. And I'm just really excited to start bringing some more content here on the channel involving this. And obviously, I'll be doing a deck profile soon for the new for my new build for here it is. I'll definitely be doing another deck profile soon involving black for the red black base. So if you want to see that, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit notification bell. And that's pretty much everything for this video. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this deck. Let me know which any recommendations you got, like any tweaks you would make. I'd love to read them. And also, like I said, don't forget to check out in the link in the description to the person who I don't know if they started or not, because I haven't really been seeing a lot of decks in Japan playing this, but I think it's a Korean player where I got the idea to try out the Mind Link thing, so go show them some love. And that's pretty much it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good week. Take care. Bye.